Good morning. Thank you all for joining. We'll give just a moment to clear the waiting room. Good morning. This is the voting hearing of the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Thursday, August 8th, 2024. This hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the city of Boston's website. While the public is encouraged to attend, there will be no additional testimony accepted this morning. Begin with the license premise inspection hearing, which occurred on Tuesday, August 6th, 2024. Item number 1, Jan Hung Inc. doing business as New Moon Villa Restaurant located at 15 to 19 Edinburgh Street. Date of the incident, October 27th, 2023. Assault and battery, dangerous weapon, patron on patron, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 15A.
I'd like to defer until we receive the video that Boston Police told us that they do have regarding this incident.
I agree.
Yes.
This will be deferred to allow for the submission of the video. Item number 2, Lolita Boston LLC doing business as Lolita Cocina and Tequila Bar located at 271 Dartmouth Street. Date of the incident, December 7th, 2023. A 911 call for medical assist for a female patron in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64.
I did review the video that was submitted. Staff cooperated. They had called the police. This was not a crowded night. This looked to me like a true accident, so I see no violation.
I agree. I did feel like, hopefully in the unlikely event that this exact same thing happens, I don't think we should forget that it happened this time, though.
Docket it in our docket, in our file.
Yes, something where we or our successors don't forget that this happened, and because if it ever happened again, it's like it would be to the point of like foreseeability and
Sure.
The fact that it happened here may I could accept as an accident, but not a second time.
I did during the hearing, didn't we talk about the door not being labeled?
Yes.
Like maybe there should be something that says employee only or staff or something.
I think they testified that they did put a sign up. They put a security lock on it. I agree with all of those things. I'm going to ask the staff, this is an example of some of our improved processes we're trying to put into place to actually upload this incident report to the docket so that future boards will have it at their fingertips since we no longer have paper files in front of us. So I would like a link to the actual incident report that we're discussing today and the vote docket. If it's possible to link the video, that would be even better. But I think this is a process we need to start doing.
That sounds really good. Thank you.
As Commissioner Carn has said, there'll be a day when we're not sitting in these seats and somebody else will have to refer to this.
So no violation, incident report to be linked to the docket sheet, videos if possible, it sounds like.
Yes.
Item number 3, it will be continued to the next available hearing date. Item number 4, 1732 Center Street Inc. doing business as West, located at 1732 to 1736 Center Street in West Roxbury. Date of the incident, February 24th, 2024. Assault and battery, patron on patron, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A.
The license premise called 911. They had separated the parties. They had had them go out separate doors. I appreciate the fact I had the opportunity to ask follow-up questions because they did say that at one point, both bartenders were outside trying to keep the parties away from each other, but they ended up finding each other again. I think they did everything they possibly could to de-escalate and prevent a bigger incident from happening. So I see no violation.
I saw it the same way.
I agree.
No violation. Item number 5, Pier 50 LLC doing business as Committee located at 50 Northern Ave. Date of the incident, April 14th, 2024. Assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, a glass, patron on patron, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 15A. And assault and battery, patron on patron, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A.
I didn't think this was foreseeable. Staff called the police. It escalated very quickly and everyone left before the police got there. So I don't see a violation here.
I agree.
I agree.
No violation. Item number 6 has been scheduled for the August 20th violation hearing. Item number 7, Patina Boss LLC, doing business as Banners Kitchen and Tap and Hub Hall featuring Momo-san Ramen by Morimoto, located at 80 to 82 Causeway Street. Date of the incident, June 6th, 2024. Person under 21 in possession of alcohol on premise, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 34A, 34C, and 6464A.
I see a violation here. This was a fake New Jersey out-of-state license MBA finals. They did retrain and discipline this employee, but the video, it wasn't even crowded. I just see a violation.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
The vote is for a violation, and as for the disposition of the violation,
I don't have their history in front of me.
I'm looking it up right now. There's no history at this location.
First warning.
Warning, yes. Are we doing any correspondence? And we talked about a lot of details during the hearing. I don't know if just a discussion would be enough, or we want to memorialize it.
Like asking for a backup and
Yeah, I mean, basically the stuff that we talked about.
Sure. Danny, we can memorialize our discussion and let correspondence to the board, and if that could also be uploaded to the docket, so we have that to refer to in the future.
Great. So a violation with a warning and correspondence from the board.
I did want to bring up one thing I noticed in the video, and I'd maybe like to see, especially with these food hall type things, where it's, you know, a somewhat uncontrolled atmosphere. This young man clearly had a friend with him who looked even younger and was hanging back. In the video, you can see it. And I'd like this place, you know, particularly to try to identify groups of young people and you know, confirm the ages of everyone who might be in a group.
to prevent handoffs.
Handoffs or just, you know, I mean, that could influence their decision to even serve the one person, just saying, you know, we'd rather not serve anybody in this mixed group of age and underage, you know, so.
I think it's a good idea.
Aware. I mean, they can decide how they want to handle it, but I think they should be aware of the age of everyone in a party.
Right. So correspondence can include the need for checking backup for anyone who looks young, as well as identifying groups of young-looking patrons, confirming ages of all of them to prevent pass-offs. Great. Thank you. Item number 8, A&B Burgers Causeway LLC, doing business as A&B Burgers, located at 101 Beverly Street. Date of the incident, June 6th, 2024. Overcrowding, 184 mechanical count, capacity 129 indoors, 39 outside, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Board's Rule 1.03J and 1.06A and F.
This was an unfortunate situation. Again, NBA finals. The doorman just didn't show up. The manager jumped in, tried to manage the door, and he couldn't. They were way over capacity. I see a violation.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was a violation.
I agree.
They have no history at this location, so
That is true.
my vote would just be for a warning.
I agree.
Violation with a warning. Moving on to the transactional hearing, which occurred yesterday, Wednesday, August 7th, 2024. Item number 1, Virtual Fulfillment Center LLC, doing business as Virtual Food Court VFC, located at 313 Old Colony Ave in South Boston, has applied for a common victular license. Manager Danny Aboukir, hours of operation 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And the board did receive this morning a revised application for dine-in service only for 14 seats.
My vote would be to approve the application for dine-in service only with 14 seats.
I agree.
That's reasonable, yes.
And any change to that, they have to come back to the board.
Application is granted for dine-in service only with a capacity of 14, and any further changes will require coming back to the board. Item number 2, Raising Cane's Restaurant LLC, doing business as Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, located at 101 Arch Street. Has petitioned to change the closing hour from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. And the board received correspondence this morning that has been further revised to a 12 a.m. closing indoors and 11 p.m. outdoors.
This licensee is looking to open up in 3 weeks. They have agreed to change the closing hour to 12 p.m., which I am comfortable with. My vote is to conditionally approve it. This license would not be issued until I see in writing that the security, whoever's going to pay for security is put into place. Right now, they have agreed to security, but they don't know who's going to pay for it. I think that puts the board in a difficult position to approve this without further information. So I just would like to, I approve it conditionally, but I will not issue the CV until this board feels comfortable with the arrangement they have on security.
Sounds good.
Makes sense.
So it sounds like this is granted with the revised hours, but not to be issued until the board receives a final agreement regarding the security costs.
Yes.
Great. Items 3 and 4, Bar Taco Fenway LLC, doing business as Bar Taco, located at 1321 Boylston Street. And item 4, Bar Taco 4 Point LLC, doing business as Bar Taco, located at 25 Thompson Place, have both petitioned to change their manager to Anthony Figueroa.
I vote to approve Mr. Figueroa as manager of record. I believe he has the appropriate character and fitness to serve.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Item 5, Rhubarb Inc., doing business as O'Brien's, located at 3 Harvard Ave in Alston, has petitioned to transfer the license to Alston Live Concessions LLC, doing business as O'Brien's Pub at the same location. Timothy Philbin, manager, with a 1 a.m. closing hour. And has also petitioned to update the description of the premise to 3,517 square feet, 2 rear exits to yard, main dining room located in 1 room on first floor, with table seating for 48 and bar seating for 31 and 2 bathrooms, storage in cellar, and an outdoor annual patio for 32 patrons on private property between the hours of 11 a.m. and 10 p.m.
I vote to approve the transfer. I vote to approve Mr. Philbin. And I vote to approve the updated description. I think that's it.
That's all.
I agree. I agree.
I agree.
Thank you. Item number 6, Lajara Restaurant Corporation, doing business as Mofongo Factory Restaurant, located at 299 Hancock Street in Dorchester, has applied for a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages license. Manager Yimi Lajara, closing time 11 p.m.
I vote to approve Mr. Lajara as manager of record. I believe he has the appropriate character and fitness to serve. I also vote to approve this application for a 7-day wine and malt license. That approval comes with a condition that should one become available, they would be issued one. So approved pending availability.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Granted pending the availability of a license for which they qualify. Item 7, Flagship Restaurant Group LLC, doing business as Forcella, located at 33 North Square, has applied for a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license. Manager Shannon McGowan, closing time 2 a.m. indoors, 11 p.m. outdoors.
The testimony was that they're seeking this 7-day all alcohol license, and that this would enhance their offerings in the North End. They are it's a small restaurant, but there's not a lot of those in the North End with these all alcohol licenses. We did receive correspondence later in the day from the licensee that they would be willing to surrender their license to the board should one for which they qualify become available. All that together, I do believe they met the definition of public need, and my vote would be to approve it pending the availability of one for which they qualify, and to approve Ms. McGowan as manager of record.
And the approval would be conditional on that turning in with the beer and wine.
Yes, they would surrender that to the board, that 4-value license.
Yeah, that's what I would vote for. Yep.
I agree.
Granted, pending the availability of a license for which they qualify on the condition that they surrender their existing malt wine and liqueurs license.
Mhm.
Moving on to non-hearing transactions, the following are applying for a new common victular license at a previously licensed location. Item 1, Bancarel Corporation, doing business as Bottega del Sud, located at 645 East 2nd Street in South Boston. Manager Felipe Angeline, hours of operation 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
Item 2, My Yogurt LLC, doing business as Keys O, located at 42 North Beacon Street in Alston. Manager Lily Wang, hours of operation 9 a.m. to 11 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
And item 3, Aloe Natural LLC, doing business as Aloe Natural Acai and Coffee Shop, located at 256 Marginal Street in East Boston. Manager Teneri Garcia, hours of operation 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
Following have applied to make changes to their existing common victular licenses. Item 1, Starbucks Corporation, doing business as Starbucks Coffee number 7564, located at 60 to 62 Boylston Street. This petition to update the capacity from 12 seats to no seats as a takeout only.
Vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
And item 2, similarly, Starbucks Corporation, doing business as Starbucks Coffee number 857, located at 222 Cambridge Street, has petitioned to update the capacity from 23 seats, also to no seats for takeout only.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
Following have applied for one-day amendments to their existing licenses. Item 1, 30 Fleet Street Corporation, doing business as La Suma, located at 30 Fleet Street, has applied to extend their license to an outdoor patio for the Fisherman's Feast between August 15th and 18th from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
Item 2, Notch Brighton Tap Room LLC, located at 1420 to 1440 Soldiers Field Road in Brighton, has applied to amend their license to for a Brighton Bazaar vendor market on August 14th from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
Item 3, BPOE of the United States of America, Inc., doing business as Boston Lodge of Elks number 10, located at 1 Memorial Street in West Roxbury, has applied for a one-day amendment to expand their license to include a contiguous parking lot for an outdoor cigar event. This will be separate from any employees and has been approved by the Boston Public Health Commission. This is September 7th from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
Item 4, Unity Sports and Cultural Club, Inc., doing business as Unity Sports, located at 10 Dunbar Ave in Dorchester, has applied for a series of amendments to include the outdoor parking lot area for a West American cuisine festival. This is on August 17th, 18th, 21st, 23rd, 24th, and 25th.
I vote to approve. They haven't gotten their temporary use permit yet, is that right? But we haven't received it.
Yep, they have filed with ISD for the temporary use of premise for the parking lot. It has not been finalized yet by ISD.
Okay, I vote to approve.
I agree. We'd be holding the
Yeah.
until we get that, right?
Yeah, just wanted to note it for the record. We haven't received it yet.
I agree.
Right, so granted, will not be issued until we receive ISD permits. And item number 5, Marnico Inc., doing business as Nico, located at 417 to 419A Hanover Street, has applied to extend their license to include patio seating for the Madonna della Cava feast, August 9th through 11th, and the hours are August 9th, 5 to 11 p.m., and 10th and 11th, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m.
I vote to approve.
I agree.
I agree.
The board has before them a list of applications for special one-day licenses, which have been administratively reviewed by staff and approved by the board. And on old and new business, 3 items for a vote. Item number 1, the board had deferred disposition of a violation to review submitted video evidence. The licensee is BHC Corporation, general partner, doing business as Club Cafe, located at 209 Columbus Ave. Date of the incident was May 19th, 2024. This was an assault and battery employee on patron in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A.
Thanks, Danny. Before I get into my reasoning and discussion, just a comment for the record, and for the licensee. We received 5 minutes before the hearing started, a 7-page letter that included affidavits from employees, as well as at least 7 video clips, short video clips. They were very, very helpful video clips. 7-page letter was helpful. I believe it would have been, I would have had an opportunity to ask more informed questions at the hearing itself. Had I had an opportunity to review all this material before the hearing, going into these hearings, especially with violations with no information beforehand, I think puts the board at a disadvantage. It actually puts the licensee at a disadvantage because we can't ask follow-up questions on the record. That being said, I appreciate all the information they did submit. I did see a violation here. The employee with the white baseball hat, 2 different times put the patron into a headlock. I don't think this was an appropriate response to what was going on, or what we couldn't hear what was going on. I understand it was intense and words were exchanged, but I don't think that was an appropriate response. So I see a violation.
Yeah, I think this situation speaks to the disadvantage that the premises put themselves in by not giving us the clips before, because what they describe and what, you know, their interpretation of the video doesn't always match up with what we see, and we didn't have a chance to discuss that. So I think what you said was apt here, that you know, we need to see the stuff beforehand so we can basically
To prepare.
we'll have a back and forth with them too. You know, many times, you know, I'm watching the video and this is what I'm seeing, and they have something to say about it, and they can kind of explain, you know, okay, that's what you think you're seeing, but this is what happened, you know, like you said, you can't hear what's being said and all that kind of stuff, but they didn't really speak to any kind of headlock. They told us the physical force was completely, you know, proportional and necessary, but the video doesn't quite show that. So, you know, I don't know if they would have had an explanation, but they didn't provide it. So
I also saw that one particular headlock that just seemed to come out of the blue. They were just standing there, and it just seemed like they were having a heated discussion. But you know, the security's arm just went right around the patron. So without that context, without knowing, you know, we heard some testimony about what was said, and it was offensive language, but you know, does it warrant an out of the blue physical touch? I'm not sure. And at this point, no.
So it sounds like the vote is for a violation across the board.
Yes.
Okay.
And look, trying to pull up their history.
Yep, I'm looking right now, there was a no violation for staff on patron in
I remember that.
2022.
This would be a first warning.
I agree.
I agree. And maybe, you know, some correspondence about de-escalation and making sure that the staff acts appropriately.
And Danny, I'm going to ask again that you, Maureen, work together to include that correspondence as a link in the docket.
Sure.
And a copy of the police report.
Great.
Or even a link to the folder. I'm not quite sure how that works. But again, I have to emphasize that we're getting this material for these hearings so late. It puts us at a disadvantage, but more importantly, it puts the licensees at a disadvantage because the hearings are not informed.
That can go into the correspondence as well, the
Mhm.
importance of
Yeah.
sharing information.
They asked for more time to prepare for it, and they sent this to us 5 minutes after the hearing started. I needed more time due to my schedule to review it, to think about it. Even given that additional time, I felt I had more questions and was not able to get them answered.
That can be addressed. So warning, the violation with a warning and correspondence from the board.
Mhm.
Item number 2, another violation that the board had deferred disposition of to allow time to receive any existing internal reports or videos from the licensee, which is K&K Restaurant Group, Inc., doing business as Estella, located at 49 Temple Place. Date of the incident was May 13th, 2024. Assault and battery patron on patron in front of premise in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A. and assault and battery patron on police officer in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13D.
We did receive additional correspondence from the licensee, I believe yesterday, which outlined the corrective measures they put into place, including canceling these Mother's Day brunches. My vote is for a violation for assault and battery patron on patron, and a violation for assault and battery patron on police officers. To me, what happened that evening should have led to them saving the video automatically. Again, I believe video could have been helpful to us at this hearing, but it did not exist. So my vote is for 2 violations.
Yeah, I was, unsatisfied with the lack of video, but as far as what was presented, I didn't have a violation. I was thinking more correspondence to lock them into saving video and basically for the future, we can find a negative inference, but I didn't, I don't have any recollection or documentation of us really kind of drilling down on the need to save video. So I'm definitely not happy about it, but I just didn't think that in this because they called the police, they separated the parties. I took their word for it that the people that were fighting outside weren't the original combatants, that they had kept one of the original combatants away from the first, and it was a third party kind of reinvigorating the fight outside. Definitely would have wanted to see the video, not satisfied that we don't have the video, but I couldn't. But I mean, I think I agree with you that what the problem really here was that they didn't have the video. But I just don't know if we've locked them into it.
Okay, so not to interrupt you and get in front of Commissioner Saxon, but this is a learning opportunity for staff. The docket says correspondence from the board. I don't have access to that. So I would like from the previous hearing in April, where we sent correspondence, which my memory was we told them to preserve video, to have that linked to the docket sheet so the commissioners can refer to that when deliberating. I respect what Commissioner Curran is saying, given the information we have, he can't get there. But I would like our staff to.
I will link that correspondence, but that was not about preserving video. We did have video of that incident. That was about patrons leaving with drinks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would like the correspondence there because I can't remember.
Understood.
For hearings I have, the number of, my schedule is double some other people's schedules, so I can't keep it all straight.
Understood.
And this is just something we've been working through as staff.
Yeah, I mean, the testimony, I wasn't sure that there was foreseeability with that particular incident. I mean, after the fact, I do find it problematic that they didn't take all of the steps in order to protect the license, which is including preserving the video. But the violation isn't for that. So maybe a strongly worded correspondence from us talking about the importance of preserving it.
May I jump in?
Yep.
A point I think we've all made in the past is you get to the hearing and to find that video wasn't preserved, it indicates a lack of seriousness, that they didn't take the incident seriously. And I definitely find that here. I just think in the past, the way we handle it is to kind of lock in a particular licensee and saying, hey, we won't accept this in the future now. And I think that's what we've been doing. So I think that's what we need to do. And that idea that you need to know on the night of, you need to make an evaluation that this was a serious incident and therefore I have to save video and, make written accounts of it and all that. And it has to happen on the night. Can't be when they get the hearing notice from us, months later, if it takes months.
And just to make sure we do not have a hearing notice prior to this incident that talks about the importance of preserving the video.
You may not, but I don't know because I can't read the correspondence, but I know I've discussed it with this licensee ad nauseum in person and
Yeah.
On the hearings. So it looks like it's a 2-to-1 vote. I am still voting for a violation. And we want correspondence addressing the video. I think given the seriousness of this with the police response, 3 different, every single police officer in the area had to respond. I would think that they should know to preserve the video.
If we have this licensee locked into,
Yes,
well, no, even prior, I would vote to defer, because without that, I'm not there. If we think we have it, I'd
I'm
rather.
not sure. It sounds like the correspondence had
either.
to do with, sounds like the correspondence had to do with drinking in public.
Do
Because
do we
If
want
Yeah,
to-
that's correct.
if we had them locked in on preserving video, I would definitely be violation here. I would
Yeah,
be finding a negative inference for the absence of video, and I would find a violation. But
I will check. I do not believe that preserving video has been a problem with this licensee in the past.
I think it's been a problem. We may not have sent them correspondence about
That's
it.
correct.
so I think if we're confident enough, I am still no violation.
Yeah, I still just kind of rest on foreseeability. I mean, I understand that, in the end, it was quite a melee, but, could they have prevented it? From the testimony, not, of course, not the video, but from the testimony, I don't think so.
So it sounds like it is a 2-to-1 vote for no violation. Correspondence from the board about the importance of preserving video that can be linked to the docket sheet as well. And we can also send a copy of the board's advisory about the importance of preserving video for the board in situations like this.
Yeah, and just to note, like, given the absence of video in my role, I don't feel like I have enough information.
Mhm.
Given my previous conversations with the licensee to determine whether or not this could have been prevented on his behalf.
Thank you. Would you like that noted in the disposition of this as well on the docket sheet, that the board, something like the board notes the licensee's failure to preserve video in addition to everything else we're talking about?
Yes, I think that's what we're
Yes.
kind of getting at today, so we can have that as a reference in the future.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you. That's very clear. And item number 3, the board had deferred to allow for the completion of the community process, which we had been told had been completed and then informed just in the past 2 days by ONS has not yet been completed. The applicant is Robert A. Caparella, 211 Hanover Street, applying for 70 wines and malt beverages with a Coors license. We are informed that they are meeting with NURA on August 20th. A meeting with NUNIC has not been scheduled yet, but will be held in September. With that being
Or
said,
until after that.
Yes.
board will continue to defer until the community process is complete. Those are all of the items before the board today, so that will adjourn this morning's hearing. Thank you all, and do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.